One of the important things that you need to do that I forgot to mention during the install portion, part one of the video, was anytime that you're doing any type of work with any of your sensors or engine bay components, you have to remember to remove your negative battery cable. As I have learned, these sensors are constantly reading, even with the engine off, and you might wind up throwing a DTIC code or a DTC code after you've installed and everything else like that. Some of the modules are self-learning, others are not. They're already programmed parameters. There's so many modules that control this, but it's important for you to, while you're doing the install, undo the negative battery cable. Now the downside to that is that you're gonna have to go back and reprogram all your settings that you had for your truck setup and things like that. But just remember to do that, because once you get everything done, buttoned up, and get your negative battery cable, you're going to take your vehicle for a drive, and it might take a few drive cycles for that particular component or module component to relearn the particular parameters that it needs to operate in. Hi, this is Dwayne again. I just returned from my trip from Alabama, and I've got some information that I'm going to share. I also called Ford Performance, like I promised that I was going to do in my last video of the aFe Stage-2 install. Ford Performance said that it is okay to go ahead and remove those silencers, because they really are just that. They just control the turbulence to reduce the turbo noise as it's flowing. So it's your choice, no problem. But I'm also going to do something else. aFe was kind enough to provide some additional plates that go on the intake itself, and they gave us a nice blue one. Since my truck is blue, it's going to match perfect. They also gave me a flat stainless steel, pretty heavy plate that I can mount on a location, and it'll show through. I think this is going to look pretty good wherever I put it. And of course, they gave me a replacement for the original aFe plate that is on the intake itself. So with that, we're going to go ahead and remove the silencers and remove the portions of the intake that will make it much easier just to get those silencers out, and we'll move on from there. Okay, as you can see, I just went ahead and removed the one tube, which was the driver's side intake tube, and I went ahead and removed the silencer, little plastic thing. It just slides in to the inlet tube on the driver's side. Of course, you've got one on the passenger side like I showed you before. They just slide right out, no problem. Next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this plate by merely drilling these rivet heads, pulling them off, and then reinstalling it with the new blue aFe power plate. I just think it's a nice little addition. Of course, this is how it comes from the factory with this brushed aluminum, and my blue truck, I think it just gives a nice little under the hood accent. Okay, so there you have it. It's all installed. Didn't take 5 minutes to put that new plate on there, and as I pull back, you can see it does add a nice underhood accent to the rest of the truck. Now, as far as performance, while I was on my trip to Alabama, I can tell you that I picked up a noticeable gain in miles per gallon, anywhere from 1.5 gallons per mile all the way up to just a little over 4 miles per gallon, based on my driving style. In some instances, I was doing a little over the speed limit. Use your imagination. I used cruise control, normal mode, and the scorcher in normal mode. And with the cruise control on, you will notice you won't get as much miles per gallon. But if you're controlling the throttle yourself, you will get just a little over 4 miles per gallon increase, and that was awesome. And it was documented on my computer, and I couldn't ask for anything better. And yes, there is a noticeable power increase, as well as a decrease in the throttle response as far as lag time for the turbo, even in normal operating mode. So with that, this is Dwayne from the Geezer and the Young Gun, and from Alex and myself, keep on rapting.